PTG and Lucky Sixes.
Hey.
We are PTG, we are Proxy Table Gaming. We are here for another battle report. We are both in the Scottish Championships. We are here for another battle report.
The bat reps are coming. Round 2, baby.
Yeah.
Both started with a loss.
Yep, we did. We're not one of those channels that only tells you the good news. Yeah, especially with me involved. I mean, you usually fly the flag for us, but nah. Both went down round one, didn't
not in round 1 this time. Although I think typically my round 1s are bad.
That's true, actually. You don't usually start that well.
I think that's because I think about them. I have time to think.
You do, yeah.
I should just stop thinking. Who thinks anymore?
I don't think you should think. Pick that one apart. Yeah.
My turn, and I take on a beast. It's a beast off, man.
Do you notice how I clicked for the next screen, even though you're in control?
Yeah, I like that.
I can click as much as I want.
The videos would be nothing without the click of your laptop.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yes, I take on Luke Tranter, who I've played a few times.
It's double vision.
I know,
beast
right?
Heads.
Beast is a beast off. All the beasts, and we've both got a lot of monsters. And the trouble is,
we've had Luke on the channel.
Yeah, we've had him a few times with his Empire or Beast herds, predominantly Beast herds actually. But yeah,
you'd probably say he's a good old boy.
He is a good old boy. He's got all the banter, as the saying goes. But yes, so we're on to Beast herds. I mean, go on to the lists. You've seen mine, Krugar, the Centaur Chieftain, and Soothsayer.
So actually Krugar is quite similar to Krasnar, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Maybe they're cousins. It's in some...
I've got Kuloth.
Hey, all the Ks. K. Oh, no, we won't go there.
Whoa.
So, onto my list. You know it quite there. Quite monstery. Chariots, some ambushes that don't normally ambush, and Evo Soothsayer. So trying out probably a bit different to what you would see in most beast herds and stuff, but trying desperately without the Minos. However, Luke is not. He has got two Minotaur warlords. Count them, 2. Both with...
both warlords as well.
Yeah, one with Destiny's Call, so it's got 4 up Aegis, not the Fortitude anymore, since the thing, and the other one's got a 2 up, 5 up. So they're really easy to kill. But luckily, I've got lots of range. So he has 2 big units of Mongol herd spears and a unit of non-ambushing Wildhorn herd. Small unit of Minos and 4 beasties compared to my beasties. So I out-beastie his beasts.
You do.
Although the Minotaur warlords are kind of beasts, so he's 6 to my 5. But anyway, we're playing. It's still 5,000. Don't let this. We're gonna keep that as a thing.
Good. That takes the pressure off me from changing the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still 5,000. Refuse to flank and hold the center. This one is Nessie, which we'll see from the map.
Yeah.
Loch Ness, and this is deployment.
It's beautiful.
So,
a lot of water.
My last round was very, very cagey. But
doesn't look like this is going to be.
This was the opposite. So I had an actual chance to play a bit, and there wasn't. He doesn't have a lot of shooting. I don't have a lot of shooting, so we're both there to.
Literally, turn 1 right in there, yeah?
Whack, bang together. Also, very, very different from my point of view. My BSB is nowhere to be seen in the Centaurs or my centre of my unit. He is going way out on the flank. So I dropped for first, I believe. We did a bit of back and forth. Back and forth, but I end up getting the first turn. And as much as I would love the Vanguardian giants, I choose them all to be drunk this time, and my centaurs to be drunk because the BSB isn't there. So I need him. I need them. Well, and I need them to be scoring because it's hold the centre.
And you've deployed one of your ambushes as well.
And I've deployed one of my ambushes because it's scoring and hold the centre. So being hold the centre, ambushing is no good. Yeah. And I've not got a lot of faith in the ambushing.
No, I was going to say.
Honest, so I'll minimise that. But yeah, so a very, very different sort of thing, and a lot more aggressive in my thing. We did a bit of back and forth, and I did a bit of zoning, but really I put all the monsters in the middle because I don't want them near the water. Yeah, let's go from there. I get first turn, and I move up thusly. So there is Krugar is just at the top here, next to the drunk.
Oh, he went far, didn't he?
Vanguard and movement.
See, that's why I asked about it in your last battle.
Yeah.
I'm used to Krugar being bang straight up there in your flank. Now he's going to spear you to death.
Yeah, the issue is I don't have spells for my main bulk of my unit. So
true, is him being a totem bearer is a bit.
Yeah, because it is good. But yeah, so what I decide right from the off is that I don't care if his giants come into me, because that means that he's going first, which normally is a bad thing, but for giants it's a fantastic thing.
He's raging you up, yeah.
So, yeah, the only difference is if one of us charges, because we're both drunk on the same thing, if one of us charges, then they're going to have a higher strength.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll see if he takes it. I'm baiting him with both of his giants to charge me solo.
One is distracting currently, so that's probably not.
Well, yeah, one is distracting as well. So otherwise, I've got my centaurs covering that whole flank over there, and the giants move up to zone and ranges, not too aggressively, and the chariots sort of spread out a bit so that they're not 6 inches, because I don't have a BSB and I don't want anything silly to happen. And they have been notorious for running away. I've been surprised how easy it is to get them to panic.
You haven't got a scoring unit in the middle objective though, really.
Not yet. I don't need to. And my centaurs are movement 9 and rerollable on a hill, so I've got a big zone there. But yeah, the one thing I couldn't do was enable a gap so that my scoring unit come through, but it doesn't matter till turn 2 anyway. So I've got a bit of time, and I'm getting my if he moves up with anything, I'm going to quadruple charge him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a bit of that. Yep. I don't get this. I think I do, and then realise that Krugar's way over in the other flank.
Yeah.
So this would have been amazing, but it doesn't happen. Don't worry.
No, don't worry.
Krugar shoots, hits.
Oh, is that not such a good thing though? Because now he won't take the charge.
Well, this is what I didn't know what I was thinking, but yeah. So
you didn't know what you were thinking.
Well, no, I needed to do wounds to him, and then, that means he's got 8 attacks, right? So he'll do very well to kill me in one, and I want him to do as many wounds to me so that I've got as many ones back. If I've got, he'll have 8 attacks, and I might have 13. So. Yeah, I'm still not too bad, but 3 wounds, I'm very happy, and Krugar is in a decent position now.
Yeah.
He charges my chariots, long charge. Can't remember whether I flee or I hold, because it is a long charge, and he's not re-rolling because he's not quite fully.
But you don't want him succeeding that.
I don't want him succeeding, but it's a long one.
And he's not Swiss Stride.
I hold, and he fails. I think it was like an 11. I was like,
That's
what?
really good for you.
Yeah. And now I'm in his flank and rear potentially.
Can Krugar help?
Krugar, I think, is just out.
Okay.
I think he has moved just out.
So now it's the reverse, where you have to.
But he's got 3 wounds already on him already.
I know. You need to do 4 wounds out of only 5 attacks.
Yeah. So
it's ropey.
But yeah. But anyway, he's had to move his chaff up to chaff, ironically, and he's not gone anywhere near this. He's gone right out to the flank.
No, I think that's the right call as well.
I'm not too bothered because it means the giant's out of the way, and I can still do a similar thing and stuff like that. He has moved back actually with a lot of stuff because he is very scared of the centaurs charging. And doesn't want his Gore-Tax anywhere near them, so he's moved back.
So this turn 1 clash in the middle thing isn't quite kicked off yet. Then.
He's dropped off basically. I think. I guess that's. It means I've done all right in the movement. It means I've zoned him well enough to do that. But yeah, interesting. He gets. Well, he gets his attribute on them, but I don't know what that means. It happens. So, there you go.
It's druidism, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, that might be Oaken Throne. Yeah. So Oaken Throne is off.
Okay.
I let it off And I tell him at the start, I say, I don't know how to handle Oakenthrown. So what I'm going to do in this battle is, if you get it off, I'm going to put it... I didn't tell him this. I said, I'm going to handle it, and you tell me afterwards whether it's right. But what my plan was at this stage was just to get rid of a dice in his next magic phase.
Yeah.
So let it off this time, because he throws 2 dice at it. So really, if he
trade
gets,
his 2 for your 1.
Yeah,
every
if he gets
time.
anything over 4, it's not worth me doing 2 to stop it, because it's not an actual spell. So I thought,
I totally agree.
I'll do 1 in the start of his next turn, and I do that every single time, and pretty much he does 2 dice at Oakenthrown every single time as well. So my plan is to stop the actual spells and to make him recast Oakenthrown. Whether that's the right thing, and you can tell me in the comments whether there's a better plan to deal with it, because I genuinely don't know. And so I was like, right, I will just
the other choice is to use 2 dice dispelling it, or the other choice is don't dispel it at all once it's up the first time.
So I don't know. I don't personally know, but I didn't want to take any dice from my magic phase. So that's what I decided. Whether or not that's the right thing, we'll see. But that was what I decided with it. In my turn, in terms of charges, I charge both of them into the dogs, the chariots, and the giant goes into the flank, because I reckon I've got a charge and a flank as well, and he's not.
Okay.
He doesn't stick. He won't stick around. He's not stubborn for any reason. So, and I've got no counter charges, so we'll see.
Okay.
Then otherwise, I just move up. Again, sort of sensing that he's... this line means nothing, by the way. Sensing that he's a bit scared of my range and zoning and stuff, and I've seemed to have taken the initiative. I need to start getting towards that central objective, and I don't want him to come. So I push forward a little bit from that point of view there. My plan on the left at this stage, again, is to charge them, stay where I am, and then flee with the chariots so that they're ready for late game. So we'll see whether that happens. Krugar gets on the hill so he can see stuff to shoot. But so that he's just 18 inches away from that whole back Mino block, because I'm very scared of the Mino.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Touch the
I take it that you've also managed to go a 7th turn a 6th turn without getting ambushes on the board.
It would seem so. But at this stage, I'm not bothered. I'm quite happy. I don't know what to do with them.
This must be the most 1s and 2s you've ever rolled.
I know. It's because of the army, right? It's because it's needed. Managed to get 3 touch the Reapers off.
That's really good.
He let it off. He has druidism, so there's potential. And then I get +1 attack and +2 AP.
Now we're talking.
To the giant. So, I mean, the AP is nothing, but an extra attack helps me out somewhat.
Could make all the difference when you need to do 4 wounds to someone.
Exactly. Definitely. I shoot with Krugar, and he does 2 wounds to the Gortax, so now the Gortax left on 1, which is very nice. And I think he can only do maximum of 2 in a magic phase, druidism-wise. So, I'm really happy with that. I overrun with the chariots on the left, again trying to bait him. I want him to try and charge so that I can flee, and I stick with the ones in the middle, because I think I overran there because I didn't want them to be close enough to each other for anything to happen, to affect anybody else. My general's there, but not too far. Into combat, I do 3 wounds and he does 2 to me, which is really good considering he had loads of attacks. I think
he had 1 wound left. He's as raged as he can be, though.
Yeah, you can see his attacks and wounds there on this side. So he's hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. So he did pretty poorly, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
But I only did 3, so you can see my attacks and wounds.
You wounded well, but you didn't attack well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hitting on 4s, wounded on 3s. No, 2s, because I'm... 2s, because I'm strength 7 on the charge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably about right. Maybe 1 above.
I suppose now, though, you're attacking at the same time. No, you got your spell off. No, you haven't. You're attacking at the same time now.
Now we're attacking at the same time.
That's ropey.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill him. So I will trade a giant for a giant if it...
And you'll be more raged after he's attacked you. So that's not terrible, yeah.
Well, I'll have 2 extra attacks plus the spell, so yeah. I'm not too bothered with that.
I mean, after the next turn of combat, you'll be even more damaged.
Yeah.
Because he'll have another 11 attacks.
And realistically, I'm the only one there with a chance to survive.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
And if I'm on 1 wound left, I'll just run,
Yeah, you're already behind a hill, behind line of sight, so yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm happy with that situation.
Mm.
But regardless, he runs.
Did he not do any wounds to you?
No, so this was the same phase. So
regardless.
This is that.
Yeah, I get you. No, regardless. I thought he'd already held.
Yeah, this was the thing. And then, but he didn't hold. I run and I tried to go in the flank.
He wouldn't have held, would he? Because it was flank 3 wounds charge. Yeah.
And I get him.
Brilliant.
Giant wins.
Yeah. Good.
But I'm fearless, so if anything can charge me, I can't flee.
No, sure.
In his turn, he charges my things with his gore attack, which was interesting.
Okay.
But the plan still stays the same. I'd flee with both, hoping to rally. I mean, this one up here has the BSB reroll, but this one is just on its own, but has more space. So
yeah, sure.
I
destroyed a forest as well, aren't you, with chariots?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about going through the forest.
No, so I'm like, you know what? If it keeps his gore attack out of position, makes him have to move around that, then I'm happy with that. Very much so. It doesn't take the bait down here, obviously, because he's twigged. He's twigged. Yeah. I mean, it was worth saying he is a beast player, so anything I know, he definitely knows. So yeah.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, shuffles around like so. Oh, there we go. Bit of a squish. Yeah. Moves his Minotaur. The big thing is he moves his Minotaur out to come get me.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I believe it's out of line of sight of my gore attack.
Okay.
In the centre. So this chap.
Sure.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm not too bothered because I've got gargoyles that can chaff, and hopefully I'll redirect and be able to maneuver things. I know in my head that actually the giants going into the Minotaurs isn't a terrible thing. I'll do a lot of wounds. I'll take a lot of wounds, but the idea is to take wounds and then die and then have an attack at him. So if I can charge in, I'm strength 7 as opposed to res 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's worth the chance because I could do a decent amount of wounds. In magic, he does 2 wounds to my giant to make it 4, which just makes it a bit more dicey if he goes into the anything really. Yeah. And gets Oaken thrown off again after I dispel it with 1 dice. He has to just cast 2.
I left. I joined and then left.
Yeah, you gone. You were like, nah, this is stupid. Pal.
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was another standoff, actually. You've made it, in this report, it sounds a lot better than I thought it looked.
Yes. Well, I mean, only because he probably rightly so, backed off from my multi-charges.
You've got a very tight little centre there.
Yeah.
Take that really well.
Twice, yeah. In my turn, so what happens here?
Chaffed his warlord with... Oh no, what's your giant fighting? He's charged you.
Let's go.
What's happened? You missed a turn, have you?
No. So I think I go there to see. He's not there. That's another Kruger, or Centaur. So don't worry about that. I think
I was trying to figure out what that was. Yeah.
Seeing that my giant's probably going to die, and has already got his giant's points. I use him as chaff.
Yeah, makes sense.
And save my gargoyles for later. I think this is just making sure he can't get through. Why I didn't use that size model, I don't know, but yeah. These guys rally as well, which is pretty good. Although I do forget that this wall is here in some sort of weird thing. Ambushes wise, my longhorns. Oh, you can't see, but at the top, my longhorns come on.
I can see them.
And go next to Kruger, and they're just out of line of sight of anything, so nothing can charge them. But yeah, sort of threatening and making him think about stuff. I moved both of these units up to be within the centre to start scoring.
Good.
And I chaff again with my
You're doing
giant.
some sort of like mating dance with those two giants, aren't you?
I know. Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Shaking your stuff in front of him, and he keeps going, no, not tonight.
I decided as well that I think a Gortak and a giant can take a Minotaur warlord. I think between the Gortak, like he can't kill both. It's impossible for him to kill both. He's only got 6 attacks, so hopefully he fluffs 1.
Only the 6, yeah.
They are like reroll to hit, reroll to wound though. So you're like, but hopefully he fluffs 1 of them, which means both of my guys are still alive. Which means if I get all my full attacks, I've got the Gortak's lethal strikes, multiple wounds, and the giant's strength 7, however many attacks it gets. So I'm like, you know what? If I can maneuver that. I mean, he's still got his gargoyles as well, so there will be a chaff off. But I've got my gargoyles in reserve, so I'm like, I think I can maneuver it so that I get them into him and then kill him. That's my plan. Yep. Anyhow, I get hasten the hour off to kill his Gortak.
Great, 1 less to worry about.
No panics or nothing. And in his turn, oh no, I don't kill him. Oh, he dispels it.
I was going to say, that's a miraculous druidism recovery going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's something that happened.
Did you fail to cast it with a double 2?
Quite possibly.
Well, you looked like you failed something. Maybe Whispers of the Veil, the dreaded double 2.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what happened. But it didn't go off. I thought it did, but it didn't.
Yeah, sure.
So is Gortak still alive? I must have missed with Krugar as well. But yeah, goes into my giant. I'm like, fair enough. I'm fearless, so I can't do anything. And moves like so. So yes, we continue to do the dance over here. However, he does also have a Gortak now. In my flank.
3.
So yeah, he's added. Yeah, his bulky friend to come to join in.
That's never what you want.
No. Moves around like this. I'm not too bothered because I've got the gargoyles. As long as my giant can do the business against his Gortak,
or at least hold it in place.
Then he turns around with these 2 units to face my Longhorns and Krugar. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But he has turned around. So
you probably lose your Longhorns to that, but Krugar can get out of
there. Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, it doesn't really threaten the centre, so I'm officially going to get a point for the things. He druidisms back, which isn't great for me.
Okay, yeah.
1 wound. And then just obliterates my giant and gets a wound back for lethal strike 1. So I'm like, Gortak's not as quite unhealthy as I thought. He did. Sure. I think it was 3 wounds. Oh, he just killed me before I struck. Anyway, so my turn. Gortak mano a mano. My Longhorns go into his Mongol herd. My chariots go into the gargoyles.
Okay, over the wall.
Yeah. And this line means nothing. So I think that might be some sort of charge thing. It's
probably 6 inches away from the middle, your marker. For him something like claiming it or something.
But yeah, so that's what I do. Then in movement, I do indeed chaff with the gargoyles. My chariots rally, which is fantastic. I should I take 2 wounds, but that's not enough to panic. So yes. And Krugar comes around to start shooting at the Minotaur Warlord as well. So I should have a round of shooting, and then hopefully the impact hits, and then the giant as well, and Krugar to back up. The Razor Tusk Chariot moves around like this to face my giant, or the giant, and my giant goes to chaff his Gortak.
Okay.
Centaurs this is in their front, so I'm like, okay, just go for it. He's only res 5. I've got a lot of attacks. He'll do a lot of wounds to me, but he'll go first with only 5, and then I've got all my attacks, which I'm hoping will do something decent, and I've got a standard, so maybe I'll win that. But I'm not. It's still a bit dicey.
Yeah.
And it's a long charge. Maybe it's not that long. It's like a 9 or a 10 to get into the Res Test Chariot.
But no Swift Ride though.
Yeah. My Gore-Tack in the middle just as he's moved around and stuff, just moves up.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not too fussed about his Minotaur going in again because I'm hoping he'll fail 1. And then my Minotaur has his lethal strikes and all that stuff. So I'm like, multiple wounds D3 and things like that. So I'm like, you know what, now's the time to risk it.
Okay.
For a biscuit. But yeah, I'm banking a lot on this Gore-Tack winning, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, because you could have charged it with both monsters, couldn't you?
Yeah, because if he's free... Ouch. But yeah. I get Touch the Reaper and do 1 wound off this giant. Yeah, might help. I do actually lose a chariot. He does 2 wounds to me, but I kill them.
That's okay.
I think I kill them as well, so I don't have to overrun or anything. So I'm happy just to sit there and wait for a charge. My Longhorns go in, and I completely fail to realise that he's got spears, which he didn't hide from me in any way.
You're attacking first.
So he's attacking
first, yeah.
And he wipes me out.
Oh.
That's a silly move, isn't it?
Don't you have great weapons? No, you don't.
I have halberds.
For that reason.
Yeah, so I died. So that was
you literally just went to your death.
160 points of just death. Yeah.
Did you give him a free combat reform there then?
Yes. Well, no, I don't care if he goes into the Gore-Tack. Gore-Tack. That's he's used his banner of the Wild Herd.
Okay.
So, and it doesn't matter. I'm res 6 anyway, so he's fishing for 6s. Sure. So not too bothered. Stubborn as well.
Sure.
My Gore-Tack does the business with impact hits and going first agility wise and stuff.
Yeah.
And overruns to be there. He
Brilliant.
reforms to be there, so he's now in my flank though, so that could be a potential. Yeah. But otherwise, things are as you see them.
He's 8 wide though, isn't he? So he's not getting rank bonus, which is something.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if I were him, I might have reformed to be 7 wide.
If you reform rather than pivot, then you can't
charge in the next turn. Absolutely why you shouldn't do it. Well done, Luke.
He charges the Res Test Chariot, the Chaffing Giant, and the...
he's going for it. Gore-Tack to Giant, then. Yep.
With the Mongol Herd. He gets in with the easy ones, but fails this one. I think this might have been his... Oh, no. I don't know. Yeah, that might have been his roll, but I don't know. Moves his Minotaur Warlord back this way. I believe out of line of sight of Kruger. So that was a bit silly from my part. But yeah, so... and means that these gargoyles are chaffing me now from charging him.
Okay.
So, interesting. The giant still has a long charge, but yeah. Moves up, realises he needs to do something to get the objective, and marches up, and 1 dies to dangerous terrain.
Okay.
Kills my giant outright with his Gore-Tack, which, fair enough, it's going to happen with the multiple wounds D3.
Okay, yeah.
Goes in, does 1 wound, as opposed to my 5 in retaliation, and I think he holds on a steadfast. Charge, flank, big flank, 1 wound, standard. So
that's 5.
We draw.
You
5. No, he might have won by 1, but I pass then. Charge, flank, big flank, standard, wound. 5, and I've done 5 to him. So yeah, we stick around. I think 5. I was like a bit gutted that he only did 5 because he was a thunder stomp, or the stomp, whatever. But this was my stomp as well.
Right, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so but I'm happy with that in the long run because if I roll any 6s, I get wounds back, and I think he's only going to be pushing me for 6s bit by bit.
Could you pivot and reform to allow your other Gore-Tack in, or not?
I can't reform because I would allow less of his models in.
Yes, that makes sense.
So,
yeah, not a rule I'm a massive fan of, to be honest.
No, but that's the way. So I charge with my Res Test Chariot into him because why not? Hoping that I go into them, overrun, and get out of line of sight of the Gore-Tack here. This my general's just gonna Evo now for the rest of the game. This Gore-Tack, see if I can plink his points.
Sure.
I think because of the overrun or however he's positioned, I cannot charge his Gore-Tack. So I don't.
Yeah, it looks like you need a wheel to get around the giant.
So I don't. But yeah, so this is the only charge. And then remaining moves, I've chaffed his Minotaur Warlord again from going in. Now that his Minotaur Warlords are over here, my Gore-Tex goes for the back. See if I can get some other points there. Krugar goes on the hill, ready to shoot here. And I set up counter charges galore on his Minotaur Warlord. So I'm hoping to do some decent moves. My Centaurs move back a little bit, and these guys just make sure they're within range of the centre.
What turn is this?
I'm going to say I went first, so my turn 5.
You've still got an ambushing unit off the board, Tom.
Yes. It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. But I'm like, well, they're not going to affect the scoring. And
that's not the point I'm making.
I know. I'm trying to think positives because it is mental. But yeah, so it's at this point as well that it comes up that my Centaurs would take dangerous terrain in the water. Normally, Cav would not, but they're not cavalry.
It's
standard height and
standard height on foot.
On foot, and they're technically
there's no mounts
on the foot. It's not about harnessed or anything like that.
No.
Or it might be harnessed, but yeah. So
they're all it's standard height on foot, and
annoying
because
I was going to just march up or charge into anything that goes into there, but that actually makes it a bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
I Whispers of the Veil, this giant down here to make him -1 discipline and -1 res. So pretty happy about that, but that's all I get off. Oh no, I get distracting on the Gore-Tex as well.
Handy.
So it's nice. Kruger.
Oh, nice.
From range.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm strength. I hit on 3s. I wound on 3s. He's got a 4-up Aegis, and then I do multiple wounds D3. It was nice.
That's perfect.
He's not wasting any effort.
No.
So he's had his Hawthorne Scare's done a decent amount this turn.
It has, yeah. Well, that's why I was so in favour of Kruger in the flank, just firing his Hawthorne Cursor. So.
I go in, do a bunch of wounds, but he does do 4 back from all his attacks and stuff. You can see there, actually, he's probably a bit unlucky to only get 4.
Well, it looks like you did 6 wounds to him, which gave him 11 attacks, which is crazy.
Yeah, again.
So you're one short of killing him each time.
Right.
You've done that twice on 2 giants.
So, but get it through and stuff. I did decent to wound and stuff, but he runs and I catch, basically, and so all is well. It doesn't matter, really.
Yeah, that's fine. I suppose you lose half points on your chariot for that, though.
Yeah. In his turn, he takes a long charge here into my Wild Horns. I decide to flee because it is like a 10, but if he fails, he gets within the 6 inches, and if he passes, then he kills me outright, and he's here.
Absolutely.
So I flee.
Are you 2-0 up or 3-0 up?
2-0 up. But at the end of this, it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, and
because he's moving up.
5,
yeah. So he failed charges and just moves up and stumbles into range.
Did he get in range? Did he?
Yeah. This Gore-Tex charges over here, and I flee again to make it a really long charge. Again, Gore-Tex aren't necessarily that fast with no Swift Ride and stuff. And this is he charged with just his Minotaur Warlord. Sorry, I'm mistaken. So that because he knew he could move up with his unit.
Yeah.
So yes, I think he would have got in as well. I think he needed. I don't know. I don't know whether he needed it, but yeah. Again, moves his Minotaur Warlord over here, so that he can get into my Gore-Tex if needed. If I go into that, again, probably hoping wisely that it'd be steadfast, taking all his characters out of there as well. So actually, it's not that juicy to go into.
No,
there.
Sure, yeah.
Still, before it might have been. In Magic, he gets Blooded Horn, +1 attack and +2 AP on these guys.
Okay.
And this might be after combat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean it's an extra chance of getting more 6s, isn't it?
But yeah, so he's got 6 extra attacks, sort of thing. So yeah, and Oaken Throne recasted. He does 2 out of the 3 needed,
That's fine.
which is happy days, and I just go to town. I just do a bunch of wounds to him. But everyone sticks around. My turn 6, I think this is.
Yeah, it would be.
I decide to. This is the moment to attack.
Your perfect moment.
So I can get both of these in. So I charge them both in. Krugar goes into the side of this Minotaur Warlord. This because all these will be out of line of sight. There is no counter charge to that. So I'm pretty happy with that. And the Centaurs go into his Minotaur Warlord. Very risky, but I need to be here at the end of his turn. So the only way
you need to draw the objective and hold the Minotaurs in place. Yeah,
exactly. So I need to do something to get that because my Wild Horns are not coming back. So my Giant has a long charge into there, which would be nice as well. So hold them up a bit from any counter charges or anything like that. But he doesn't get in. The Centaurs do, but they lose 3 through dangerous terrain. And these are all in. Here. My Gortak just runs away because I don't need to lose 500 point monster at this point. That's silly. And my gargoyles just fly away. Flutter away. Okay. Flutter away, gargoyles.
Chaff surviving a battle. What is that about?
They've kept the Minotaur Warlord out of the whole game.
Oh, absolutely.
Buzzing. I am buzzing about how the Minotaur Warlords have not done anything yet.
Yeah.
However, it does all come down to the centre.
And your ambushes are on.
And my ambushes are on, doing nothing but conserving their points.
He does that at least.
And it was like last turn. It was like, well, you might get their points again. I think I rolled like a 6 as well. So
has your Razor Tusk fled off the board? Unfortunately.
Yes, he has. He has, which is not good, but that's only 120 points because he already lost half points. So.
Yeah.
I get Whispers of the Veil off on the Minotaur Warlord, and this is after combats. So there's lots that's happened here. Obviously, we're getting to crunch time, so pitches not so much. Kill this unit with all the impact hits and stuff. That's been done. Gortak survives as well, so he has to do something in his last turn to get him. I'm happy with that.
Has he got 6 wounds or
6?
7?
6. So Krugar goes in, does a bunch of wounds, takes 2 in return, but causes them to flee.
Did he duel that?
No. Well, no. He didn't do it. Oh no. Sorry, I'm completely wrong. These 2 are his wounds.
I was going to say that's quite a turnaround if Krugar takes 2 wounds and does none to him.
Yeah. No, I do 2 wounds. I've got charge, a flank, BSB, and 2 wounds to his none. So he flees. I decide not to pursue. I don't think because
you don't want to get in line of sight.
I'm in a bit of a sweet spot, to be honest. So yeah,
sweet spot.
Yeah. And my Centaurs do 4 wounds out of 5. Ooh. So I'm like, at that point, he's still alive. This is the great weapon dude. He does a bunch to me, but I win by 1. He's minus
charge standard 4 wounds.
Yeah, and he does. I think he does 6. Yeah, but I win enough. And I win enough to be minus 1. He's got minus 1 res and discipline off on him, and he flees. It's happy. Obviously, the only other thing is that I have to charge because I can't want to take a charge into his spears. It didn't go so well for the Longhorns. So, and
I'm guessing he outran you as well. So he got away.
Well, that's it. I was like, well, I've got to chase because I've got to get. If I get this Minotaur Warlord, it's massive. So he's 4 out of 5 points. I've got half points for him at the minute. But it's all down to I just need these Centaurs to survive. I don't care about killing this unit or anything like that. Just survive.
Well, I'm not liking your chances, if I'm honest.
This is just showing. Up here. I actually get an overrun into his other Minotaur Warlords.
He's only got 2 wounds left, so why not?
Yeah. And it's his last turn, so I'm like, you know what? He can't get my Gortak. He can't get this other unit of chariots. I might be able to do some impact hits and stuff onto it. Yeah. Let's go for it. Let's just go for it. And this is a reminder that these are over here.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the state of play. So interesting. But it does all come down to this. He charges, but that's just to kill my chariots. I don't mind if it's all about the impact hits, nothing else for me. So I don't mind that too much. He continues to flee
with
his general and his minotaurs.
So you get the general's points.
I don't get the general's points because I haven't killed him, but I don't get the bonus. Sorry, but currently he's fleeing and 25%.
You don't get the 200 points, but you do get the whole points for the unit.
Yep. Or I would if he didn't get magic off. So this is remaining movement.
Ah, right, to recover a wound.
Yes. Have that in the back of your mind.
It's now in the back of my mind. Yes.
But the minotaurs go, so that's happy days. Half points.
So. I like how you've still got the 2 wounds on Kruger.
Yeah, I know. We just didn't move.
Even though he's moved it up. Ooh.
Right. Yes. So this is after combat.
No way.
I only take 1 wound.
How the hell have you done that?
Out of all of that. So
Luke, what are you playing at?
I know. I think he popped his banner as well. So it was just like he was hitting on 4s. I think he failed because he's on his own. He failed his reroll to hit.
There's a dice roll at the very top of the screen. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3,
That's
3,
the wounds.
4. That's harsh, isn't it? He's hit you 7 times.
Really madly
on
harsh.
4s and got that.
Just as a side, he did regain some wounds on his Minotaur. 1 wound. So I only get half points for him because he's fleeing.
Okay, yeah.
So, but still, they're pretty good. But yeah, so I do 2. I've got a charge, 2 wounds, and a banner. He's 8 wide, so it has 1 wound and a banner. So I win by 2 or 3, I can't remember. And he flees away from the centre.
Oh no, he couldn't have been steadfast in the water.
He's not steadfast in the water.
Yeah, so that's job done for the objective then.
I choose not to go after him because of dangerous terrain and stuff.
Yeah, keep your points.
And yeah, that was mental. Centaurs for the win.
I don't know how you managed that.
I don't either. I was like, that's
especially
crazy.
With the banner of the wild herd made strength 4. That's
It was crazy. Proper UB dice here.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Oh no!
Impact hits. I roll 5. You can see down here. I roll 5. I do 1, 2, 3
wounds,
and he fails.
Fails them.
Armor,
unrerollable.
6 ups.
Armor.
And fails his Aegis.
Loki boy.
It was not a good turn for Luke. But
I feel
chariots,
sorry for him, man. He's got bullied.
Mental. So I got that's like 600 points there.
Easy. Yeah.
I do end up dying, but
who cares?
Who cares, man? So this is a set play at the end of the game, and it went rather well.
Yeah, it did. There's a lot of death there.
There's a lot of death, isn't there? There's a lot of death. Apart from these.
They're right, yeah.
16-4. So I end up winning 37 on points. I get the objective. Take it 16-4.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was like a good game. It felt very cagey, despite me having the mindset of going forward and stuff. I don't think
it was really cagey though, because you were doing stuff on that left flank.
Yeah, and there was way more action than the last game, so at least I had that. So I was pleased. Oh yeah, really, really, really pleased with that. But I mean, massive bit of luck at the end. Probably taking it from an 11 or 12-8 win, realistically, to a 16-4 in the end. So quite a big swing. Didn't help him fleeing and losing all those Aegis saves and stuff like that. So yeah. Cool. Happy days.
Really happy days. So round 2, a bit more successful for you then.
Yeah, in the end. Although I did feel very fortunate. I felt I played well, and then it just careened for him. I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word? Careened?
Yeah.
Negatively careened.
Not necessarily in that context, but yeah. That's cool. Yeah. We know what you mean. Nice. So 24 points after round 2 then.
Yeah, above average, which is good, and I've got a win. I in my head I wanted 2 wins, not to be 20'd, and finish above half or finish on half. I'd be happy with.
Yeah. Cool, awesome. Right, well, good game with Luke. They always are. I've only played him once, but you played him a few times now.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, the tournament rolls on. Really, will give us your comments on how that went. Can't remember whether you asked for anything in the comments or not. Actually, but,
Oakenthrone. Did I deal with Oakenthrone correctly?
Yes. How do you deal with Oakenthrone?
Yes.
How do you deal with
and
it?
also any thoughts on the battle and how it went, and did I just luck out? Because I still feel very brand new and unknown with Beast Herds, even though I'm not that new to it.
Well, new in the same sense that you're new to Equitane and you're new to vampires,
exactly,
and you're new to warriors.
Yeah. You've probably had more Dread Elf battles than I have, Beast Herds, and maybe Equitane.
I've never had any battles with Equitane.
No, I mean with Dread Elves, but yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know. The stats don't lie. The channel would.
This is Beast Herds anyway, so
it is. Yeah,
let's talk Beast Herds. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, whatever, and obviously the forum. Ovs.
Yep. And look forward to the next one, which is Dread Elves Turn 2. Lots of Dread Elves, in fact.
Lots of Dread Elves. The round of civil wars.
Absolutely. Cool. We'll see you for the next one then, guys.
See you later.